Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Kovac Enterprises. As you can see, before we start our next project, which is the Lost in Space Robot B9 robot, as you can see, we've actually cleaned up my workbench area. I took all the used, I guess I had a Chuck's pad that was put up there when I was doing my painting and stuff like that. So everything is cleaned up, taken off the wall. As you can see here, we got actually it's a kind of like a computer table turned into a workbench. So everything is basically wiped down with some alcohol and ready for this next project. So as you can see, you can kind of turn it around here. So everything is ready to go for, like I said, our next project. So as you can see, panning across, this is going to be our next project on the bench. As you can see, it's still in its cellophane wrapping from about 8-9 years ago. So like I said, we just finally got out of the stash area. Compliments of my wife for picking it out for my next project. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and do a quick out-of-box review and see what it looks like inside. I do know, like in the past, on some YouTube, other modelers have done some out-of-box reviews, but we'll go ahead and do one more. It'd just be interesting to see, for my sake, what's all involved and what's in there, and give you a quick refresher course as far as what's in the box. So with that being said, we will see you in a few seconds. Stand by. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start by kind of reviewing the instructions for the Robot B9 from Lost in Space. So here it is right there. Now I went ahead and previewed this already. There actually are 6 steps for the breakdown of the instructions. So we'll go ahead and open it up here. So step number 1 is basically working on the head assembly, and there's subparts A through E underneath the number 1 step. So there you go, there's that. I'll kind of bring that up here, and it's very simple, and it spells everything out for you step by step. So, and they also come with the pictures for each step as well. So there you go. So step 1. Step 2 is the actual neck assembly. Same thing with subparts of 2A through 2E. And again, it gives you the actual pictures with the actual part numbers. And another thing they do for you is in bold lettering for their suggestion as far as what kind of paint to use. So there's that. So there's step number 2. Step number 3 is basically the torso assembly. And of course, again, with the sub-assemblies of 3A through 3H, as you can see there. And once again, the pictures are nicely illustrated for you. So basically, you're just kind of following the instructions step by step for each part. And usually for each part, they tell you to do a bunch of sub-assemblies and set them off to the side until the final results, where you kind of glue everything back together again. Alright, so there's number 4. This is for the arm assembly. Again, sub-parts A through F. And this part of the arm assembly, that's where it gives you the 2 options for 2 ways of putting in the arms for the B9 robot. So that's your choice. So there you go. There's that. And then we have step number 5 as we work our way down. This is the tread assembly. So this is sub A through F. We follow along the step-by-step instructions. So there's that. Again, they're showing you the pictures. There you go. And then finally we get to step number 6, which is the final assembly. This is basically A, B, and C for the sub-assemblies underneath that heading. And then of course this is where we kind of put them all together. So there's your panels from start to finish for the final assembly, as so. And then we have, of course, our back page here where it gives you some assembly and painting tips, like so. And then there's a section for the decal application. And then they also give you one for the actual power pack paint colors. And then they do a final showing of the B9 robot with all the parts with the lights and everything, and give you the suggestions as far as in this case it would be the clear amber, green, red, and sometimes blue for how the lights are supposed to be either painted on or lighted on. I'll probably end up using some of my Tamiya clear paints for that. And just to let everybody know, I'm not going to light this model. I'm just going to build it right out of the box the way it is, and try to make it look as realistic as possible. So anyways, that's the instructions part of it. Now it does come with 7 packages on here. So the first one is basically, I'm going to kind of leave them in the plastic bags themselves, but these are the clear parts for the upper part of the torso, as you can see right there. And where he does his talking, there's that one right there. That's a 2-part thing there. And this is part of his brain right here. I know it's kind of hard to see, but we'll once we start assembling, we'll get a more clear picture on that. And here we go with the other part of the torso itself. So there's that one there. And then of course we have like the bottom part, which is the tread. And you can see how nicely detailed it is. You can see the tread lines are nicely molded in there. And of course then we got part of the torso assembly here. And the programming area right here, I guess you want to call that. So there's our second package right there. And then we have some more clear parts. I say again, we'll just leave them in the bags right now so they don't scratch up or anything like that. So there's that. And then we have some photo etch as well. So we have 3 of those. So that's very nice. And then we have our second half of our tread area of the robot. And you can see it's kind of molded, kind of, I guess, all kind of a light gray color. And of course, all the sprue trees are numbered and everything for you, so you can follow along with the instructions. So I say these are basically various parts of the robot. And we'll get more into detail once we open them up and start sub-assembling some of this stuff. So that's our, I guess that's our 4th package right there. And then our 5th bag, of course, contains most of the main part of the torso itself. You can see there's the top half there, the mid section where all the lights go and the arms get inserted. And of course, this is the back part, the rear of the torso. So it's nicely packaged, you know, for each individual part of the robot. So there you go. So there's that package right there. And then we have our 6th package right here, which I guess is part of the top part of the brain of the robot itself. So there's that there. And we have, I guess, part of our power pack is in there too as well. I know it's kind of hard to see, but there it is right there. This little part right here. So yeah, so there's that. And then finally we have our, I guess, our legs and our arms, which is basically molded in vinyl. As you can see from what I've observed from other YouTube modelers when they're putting this together, since it's made out of kind of a vinyl plastic, it's almost transparent when you shine a light through it. So I do a little research on there and see what kind of paint we can use on this to be able to make it stick. So there you go. So, and of course, then again, here's one example of the flailing arms that come out of the main torso there. That's one option that you want to choose. And then, of course, the one that are retracted is this one here, basically. So, you know, and the kind of claws go on this side here as well. So those are your two options there. And then last but not least, we have, I guess these are going to be the decals that are probably associated with the lighting of the main torso for decal purposes. So there you have it. That's the kind of a quick out-of-the-box view of the Robot B9 robot itself from Lost in Space. And like I said, we will get started on this with our continuation progressing as far as putting this together. So with that being said, stay tuned for the next video, and we'll go ahead and proceed on with this. So everybody have a good day, and we will catch you on the next series in this build for the Robot B9 from Lost in Space, 1/6 scale. Until then, this is Kovac Enterprises, and we are signing off.